Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers. My name is Professor Dr. Rizwan Jamil Qureshi and I am covering agile methodologies and I am covering lean methodology today. But before that I would like to cover motivation and management models. We have motivation model which is called theory Y. It is also called pull model, and we have management model which is also called push model, or we also call it X model. X model or push model is designed for construction, for physical work like the manufacturing industry, civil engineering industry, whereas theory Y or pull model is designed for creative and innovative work. And we already know that software development is creative and innovative work, so we would like and we recommend to use theory Y pull model. Even though the environment or the customs of third world and second world countries like to use push model even in some software companies, but it is advisable and recommendable to use pull model, and especially when you are using agile and you are using lean methodology. Their importance is significant for agile and lean methodology. Let us discuss the agile and lean with respect to push and pull. The theory X, the push model, it is designed for construction industry, it's designed for physical work as I already discussed. So in that we have management has the more control, more command, more control, and management dictates, management knows the best, management dictates how to the work should be accomplished. Whereas in theory Y, the pull model, workers are more energetic and workers have more command, workers have more motivation, workers have more ownership, and workers know how the work should be accomplished, and they only inform the management about the direction, about the success. Like I discussed the example of Australian company realestate.com.au, in which there are 1000 employees, and out of 1000, 200 team members are automatically transformed from traditional to agile teams, and management say yes, show me collaborate, show me delivery, show me reflection, show me improvement, that how much your collaboration is improving, and it should be reflected with release by release, and how much your quality of delivery is improved, and it should be reflected release by release in terms of time saving, cost saving, less bugs, high quality. So the productivity decreased under stress in using the push model, whereas in case of Y model, the pull model, productivity increased when they have command in terms of they know the processes, they have control over their processes, they can define their own processes, they can define their activities, and they just inform the management, this is our direction, this is our success, this is the output of our activities. So productivity decreased in case of creative and mental work using the push model. So it is increased by using the pull model when they don't have any stress and pressure. So pull model reflects trust, ownership, and that's the desire, that is the requirement of agile methodologies and the lean methodologies. That is about the push and pull model, and let's discuss their role with respect to the lean model. Lean methodology is introduced in Toyota company in 1950s, and to improve their quality and improve the control over their work, to have smooth workflow, to have control over their processes. So lean methodology is very successful in manufacturing industry, and because of when agile was introduced in early 2000 and agile was implemented like XP and Scrum, then software professionals, the consultant, the coaches like Cockburn, like Mike Cohen, like Jim Highsmith, like Ken Beck, Ken Schwaber, the gurus, they decided to use the lean methodology in software development. Lean methodology is based on 7 principles. The principle number 1 we have eliminate waste. Eliminate waste means don't add any extra feature, any extra function. Normally, we think about quality. The quality means it's full of functionality. But that is the wrong understanding about the quality. Quality means you have to introduce minimum marketable feature. I remember the case of 3 products which were failed because the companies decided to have too many functionalities, to enrich too many functionalities to their customers. The first example is Nokia company. Nokia was leader in the mobile market, but then smartphones were introduced, and then Nokia they were using Symbian operating system. Nokia is a Finland-based company. They tried to add too many functionalities in the Symbian operating system, and that was failed. And that time when Nokia failed in the smartphone market, Samsung captured the market, as I will discuss inshallah in coming lectures. That Samsung company was a mediocre or average company, small size or medium size company, but then its top management decided to move towards electronic and mobile market, and they asked their teams, their management, their managers, that there will be no compromise on quality. Quantity is not important, quality is important. And then Samsung TV was successful, Samsung smartphones were successful. Now after the iPhone, the second market leader is Samsung. So don't try to add too many functionalities, as I was covering. And second example is Netscape Communicator. In early 2000, Netscape Communicator was the most widely used browser in the market. And that time, Nokia, Netscape Communicator, tried to add too many functionalities in the Netscape browser. And that time, very few people use Internet Explorer. Even Microsoft has to introduce Internet Explorer with Windows free. So that was the time when Netscape Communicator was leading the market. The top management decides to cover too many functionalities, and the result was failed. And now there is no more usage of Netscape Communicator browser. Even when I gave example to the students, they don't know about this browser, that there was a browser about naming Netscape Communicator, and it's no more even in the market. It's closed. The company is closed. Then American Online purchased Netscape Communicator, but they were not able to run it successfully. Finally, the project or the software was closed. It's no more used. No more used. And then third example is Microsoft Vista. Microsoft Vista was a failed product operating system by the Microsoft, and Microsoft tried to add too many functionalities, and it is claimed by some professionals that it is the largest software ever made in the history of software engineering, approximately sizing about 70 to 80 million lines. And size was so large and complexity was so high that Microsoft was not able to fix the bugs, and it was not stable, it was not reliable, and it was failed. And then Microsoft has to perform re-engineering, and they perform restructuring, and finally they introduced Windows 7, which was much successful than the Vista. Much stable, much reliable. After XP, then it was the most widely successful operating system by Microsoft. So don't try to add extra features, extra functionalities. That is the principle number 1 by the Lean. And then estimate the cost and time impact before considering any new requirement to implement. Remove surplus staff, extra processes, extra activities. Improve the processes to disseminate information to all team members. Improve the processes to find better ways to perform testing to detect maximum number of bugs and to have stable version. So that's the principle number 1, eliminate waste. Then the principle number 2, empower the team. As I discussed the push and the pull model, the pull model gives motivation, gives ownership to the team member, and as the Agile is also recommending that you have to prefer individuals, interactions, give them motivation, give them rewards, give them freedom to define their processes, to define their activities, define their roles, like Scrum, how they will do that. Then build integrity, build quality. That quality, there should not be any compromise, and quality should be high. That's the principle number 3. And then we have to deliver principle number 4. Deliver quickly, as fast as possible, without compromising quality. Built-in integrity, built-in quality. Principle number 5, add value to the customer. Give weightage, give importance to the requirements given by the customer, provided by the customer, and don't say him no, I will deal it later on, or it is not possible to fix it, to deal with these requirements right now. We are at the testing level, we are at the coding level, we have finished our plan, analysis and design. Then principle number 6, optimize the value stream. Keep on improving your process, keep on improving your product, keep on improving your quality. Principle number 7, defer commitment. Defer commitment means be flexible in your schedule, be flexible in requirements at any stage of the project. You are at the architecture level, you are at the designing level, you are at the coding level, you are at the testing level, you are at the deployment level. You have to say yes, welcome. So irreversible decisions should be postponed to the last moment. Defer commitment, that is the principle number 7. So these are the 7 secrets or keys to have success using the lean methodology or lean philosophy. Lean has some specific terminologies. For example, keep your work in progress under control. Keep your work in progress under control. To keep your work in progress under control, Lean has introduced Kanban scheduling technique. In the Kanban scheduling technique, you have product backlog, as we already know, like the Scrum. The product backlog, you have sprint planning meeting and you have sprint backlog. Now, sprint backlog are the stories that we are going to deal in the current sprint. And then you have table shows, it could be on the board, whiteboard, or it could be in the software like Jira is very popular project management tool using agile companies. Like one of my students, Hassan, is working in Ericsson company in Bahrain. They are using Jira. So Jira is a very popular project management tool for agile software companies. So you can use tool or you can use whiteboard. So product backlog, you have sprint backlog, and then you have new. Next column is the new story. And then next column in progress. The story is in progress. And then the next column completed. So product backlog, first column, sprint backlog, second column, third column, new stories, fourth column, the stories in progress, the fifth column, the completed story. As a story will be completed, you will push from the product backlog to sprint backlog and sprint backlog to new. Or you have sprint backlog, you complete it, and if there is like story number 1 completed, you push story number 2 to in progress. And then if story 2 is completed, if you have multiple teams, you have more than one stories in progress. And you have more than one stories in completed. So as it is, the stock in the sprint backlog is empty, then you move from product backlog to sprint backlog. Then another terminology is minimum marketable feature. Don't try to add too many functionality, too many features as defined in the agile lean principles. Then another terminology by the lean is plan, do, check, act cycle. PDCA, plan, do, check, act cycle. You have to plan your things, you have to complete them, you have to check them, and you have to respond them. Improvements or mistakes or corrective actions, you have to take it. I will try to explain my students using the collaborate, deliver, reflect, improve cycle. So you plan, you collaborate to plan, then you deliver, then plan, you deliver, plan, develop, you develop it, you build it. So then you do. It is like do. Plan, you collaborate, deliver, reflect, improve. So you check to improve, and then it's like act. So you have to improvement in collaboration and improvement in your delivery. So plan, do, check, act cycle is there. Then there is cumulative flow diagram used by Lean, which shows a cumulative graph that how many stories are in the sprint backlog, how many stories are in progress in terms of coding, in terms of designing, in terms of testing. So it shows the complete flow of all software development activities by different teams. So that is the cumulative flow diagram technique used by the Lean. So these are some Lean terminologies. So there are some lessons we learn from Agile and Lean. You should have daily meetings and face-to-face meetings. Keep your work in progress under control, like product backlog, sprint backlog, then new story to in progress to complete it. Don't push from sprint backlog to new until your stories are completed, and then you have the there is a space available. I would like to explain the example of your kitchen stock, like tea or milk or fruit or mineral water. So you have storeroom and you have kitchen. So normally people buy their grocery when their salary is deposited in their account at the beginning of the month. Then they don't put all things in the kitchen. So they put in the storeroom. When the things are empty in the kitchen, then they will bring from the storeroom to the kitchen. Like supermarkets, like in Pakistan we have Carrefour, or in Jeddah or Saudi Arabia we have Carrefour, we have Danube, we have Panda, we have Hyper Panda. Now they have warehouses. From the warehouses they have their stores, departmental stores in different cities like Jeddah, Tabuk, Makkah, Medina, Riyadh. When there some item stock is short in the stock in the superstore or in the store, then they will order to the warehouse to supply those items, or they ask vendor or supplier to supply them. When the items are short, if they have enough item, they don't order to the vendor or supplier. Like we have ERP system, the logistics support system. In the logistics support system, automatically system will check how many items are sold, and then based on their inventory, the system will automatically order to the supplier or the warehouse to supply those items. It is the same process to keep your work in progress under control. You will not push those stories. If your stories are already not completed, then you will not bring any new story from sprint backlog to new, or new to in progress. It will never be completed because you stuck up, like traffic jam. So like highway, if traffic is jam, any new car you will not allow to enter on the highway, because coming from the small roads or the side roads to on the highway, because it's already jam. There is no space available for the new car. Same, there is no space, no time for the new story to deal. Then we have the concept of why the Lean is successful or successful in software development. What is the objectives to use Lean in software development? There are 11 objectives with what I found from different sources. Empower the team, give them freedom, give them power, give them trust, give them ownership. They should feel that this is my company, like Google or the Facebook or the Microsoft. What is the working environment? In the working environment or multinational companies like Nestle, like Unilever, they have like home environment in the office. They have swimming pool, they have table tennis court, they have carom board, they have cafeteria open 24 hours, they have washing machine, they have saloon, barber shop is there, so you can iron your clothes, you can wash your clothes, swimming pool, whatever you want. Extracurricular activities, recreational activities are there. So you feel it's like my home. Like most of the ideas in Google, I heard that they were discussed during playing table tennis or playing or taking a cup of coffee. So that's the environment there. So bicycle is there to go from one department to another department. That is the working environment. Give them freedom, give them power, give them ownership. Whatever they want, they can propose the idea, suggest the idea, they can work on that. They have the resources available to work on that. So in this way, the employees feel like it's my company, and they are getting the salary, and sometimes they have the partnership, like the current chief executive of Google, that's the Sundar Pichai. Sundar Pichai is getting salary from Google, as well as he is a shareholder of the Google company. Same is the Facebook. Facebook, some employees are not only the employees, they are getting the shareholders. They are the shareholders, they are getting the share profit from the company. So that's the concept, rewarding concept, motivational concept. Like I know one software company in Pakistan, they have the best programmer of the month. Like I went to Latif Jameel, the best marketing manager, marketing guy of the department. So with that, not only the certificate, with the extra salary, with the extra allowances, bonuses. So this is something rewarding for the for the team members, and they love to work. So there is a healthy competition in the team members. This is called empower the team. Then optimize the process. You have to keep on improving your processes. Optimize, learn from your mistake, and try to do corrective actions in the next release or in the next project. Improve your quality, built-in quality, that there is no compromise on quality. Deliver fast but without compromising the quality, and use test-driven development to have minimum number of bugs to save time, cost, effort, resources. Then reduce the waste. You should not have extra processes, extra activities, and you should not waste time to do rework, reinventing the wheel. Smooth workflow. Workflow should be smooth. Inspect the product, daily testing to have daily identification of bugs. You can fix bugs early rather than at the last stages. So early bad news is better than the last stages. Then you have stress, pressure, deadlines are there, budget is lacking short. So lot of factors are pressurizing you. You feel you are at gunpoint. So you have to inspect daily to identify minimum number of bugs. Amplify learning, continuous learning, disciplined learning. It's a attitude, it's a behavior. So that's the reason agile team members are different than the traditional teams. Continuous improvement. There should be continuous improvement in terms of collaboration, in terms of architecture, in terms of design, in terms of code, in terms of testing, in terms of as a product, as a whole process, as a whole company. There should be continuous improvement. Defer decision. You should be flexible in your decisions. Irreversible decisions should be taken at the last moment. Be flexible in architecture. Be flexible in requirements. Be flexible in the decision making. Be flexible in the requirements at any stage of the project, and use 5S. That is the Six Sigma concept is there in the lean, that you have to sort your team members, sort your activities, sort your processes, sort any extra resources. Then you have to set them in order. Sort, first S, 5S is there. First is the sort. Second, set in order. You have to arrange them in order, and you have to label any extra resources by green, and the red should be removed, green should be placed. You have to arrange them in terms of your processes, in terms of activities, in terms of team members. Then you have to shine. After that, you have to standardize. Sort, set in order, standardize. You have to standardize in terms of planning, in terms of architecture, in terms of designing, in terms of coding template, in terms of testing. So there should be standardization from release by release. And then you have to, when you sort, set in order, you standardize, then you have to shine. Reflection should be there, that there is an improvement because of the standardization in your team members, in your processes, in your activities, and then you have to sustain it. Like getting first position is not a big deal, but keep on maintaining that position. Like you achieve quality or quality standard, it's not a big deal. You have to keep on improving your quality. That is the sustain. You have to keep your position continuous. You have to improve it. That's the big deal. That is something achievable by the company, and that makes different from normal company and a failure company or a successful company. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you. Assalamu alaikum.